about when I had been married to him like 3 years, and
we can't tell that story.
I can't tell that story.
No.
How many of you would like to get paid more to do what you love? Would you?
Ooh, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that.
Woo. So it's funny, we talk about living your assignment, living in your gifts, doing the things that you were created to do and born to do, and that stuff's all great, but there's one problem.
What's that?
If nobody knows you're doing it, you're not going to get paid.
You're not?
No. So,
you mean people don't just
sometimes
seek you out?
Sometimes people start businesses to do things that they love, and they're actually they really care to serve other people, but nobody knows. Even when we first started, our son does jujitsu, and we've been to some jujitsu places have very few people in them, and if they don't get enough people, they don't last. And then some of them have a lot more, and it all comes down to one thing. Marketing. And so we love marketing, but it's also something that's super important for you as somebody who is either an entrepreneur already or beginning your journey in entrepreneurship. Marketing, as a lot of people like to say, marketing is everything.
Well, I would say it's even important if you're an employee because
it is. And we've had conversations about it.
Yeah, but you're marketing yourself to a business to hire you because
exactly.
Anyways.
So one of our favorite marketing resources is this little magazine newsletter, right?
Yep.
And it's Dan Kennedy originally started it, but then Russell Brunson
recently purchased it.
And we pay to get this come to our house every single month. And Zach,
it's a great resource.
Zach sits in his reading chair and reads all about marketing.
I do. So the magnetic marketing letters are I seriously anticipate it coming in the mail.
It's like a kid waiting for Christmas every month. Is it here? Is it here?
Yep. Beginning of the month, I'm out at the mailbox is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet?
He really is. He's not even lying about that. So we wanted to share something that we learned from this. Well, we knew it already, but a takeaway that we wanted to share with you how you can use it as you're in these stages of your business, right? And how it's actually one of the most important lessons in marketing.
For sure.
But it comes from a story. So we want to tell you the story about this guy. They were spotlighting a guy who's in Dan Kennedy's community, right?
Yep.
And his name's Stephen Oliver. So you want to tell him a little bit about Stephen?
Yeah. So Stephen Oliver was a martial arts guy, right? So he was a trainer.
He
was a trainer. And so he wanted to teach kids how to
and adults,
but I think really he was focused on kids because it helped him, right? It helped him as a kid.
I think so, yeah.
And then so basically he was like, I want to open a gym. I want to open a place for kids to come and train.
Karate school.
Yeah, karate school. Well, luckily for him, he had been part of this magnetic marketing group and getting these letters. And so
actually, I think he found it after he started the school.
Did he find it right
I think
afterwards?
He wanted to start one, but exactly what we just said. He was like, hey, I want to start a school, but hey, I just realized I know nothing about marketing. If I'm going to start a school, I need people to come to it because I have bills to pay.
Okay.
And so he's like, so I think in his deep dive research, which I think started in a library.
Oh, yeah, because this was a long time ago.
You're right.
He started
We take this for granted that you can Google things and there's online classes and there's newsletters and all this stuff. But back in the day, you had to we were talking about that with somebody on one of our interviews is you used to have to go find things in the library.
Yeah, for sure. You can't just go, oh, here it is. And there's 80,000 videos on how to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
But
he found Dan Kennedy.
Yeah, he found Dan Kennedy in that process, right? And so what he learned is that the marketing was what was really important and getting into that kind of stuff. And
he actually ended up opening 6 schools and being really successful. I think he's one of the number 1 schools in Denver.
Yeah, he's been the best school and recognized as the best school in Denver.
And then
for 20 years.
And then since then, he's actually, I believe, created a program to help other
martial art,
that genre of stuff and how to market their stuff, right? Because here's the thing: you can be really good at something, but if you don't know how to market yourself, then you may not make the money that you desire from it, right? And so he in here talks about 4 ideas that Dan Kennedy gave him that were big ideas, transformative ideas for his business, right? And one of them I read and I was like, oh yeah, because it's one of my favorite things that people don't normally do.
Right.
right? So people don't normally do this, and it's a pitfall or a trap people fall into.
It is indeed.
And he said it was get inside. So here's the secret: get inside the conversation going on in their mind,
or at the kitchen table.
Yes. So I was going to say. So what does that mean?
Oh, okay.
So what does that mean, right? So get inside the conversation going on in their mind. So you mentioned the kitchen table. Explain what I mean.
So the place to be, right, is like if Laura and I are going to send our son to some kind of extra activity, right? We're going to have a discussion about the pros and cons and what we think about it and why we want to pick this place or not this place or whatever, right? So we have all these ideas going around in our head and why we know why we want to send our son to jujitsu, right? Is it so he can defend himself? Yes, but that's not the whole story, right? So if that's all you're marketing to people, then you're only capturing a little bit of it. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to get inside their head or be at the kitchen table and listen to them have that conversation, then you know how to position, right, what you have and hit those trigger points for them. Like, hey, I want him to be more confident and I want him to do better in school. I want him to be able to, go talk to people and talk to strangers and not be scared of people. Like all those things are actually what we care about along with defending yourself, right?
And the funny thing is you might be listening to this and you might be thinking, how in the world do I do that? That's challenging. That's too hard. So here's the secret. Here's something that we've learned from being around marketers, in marketing, doing marketing is if you just have, you don't even have to get it 100% perfect. However, most people don't even think about trying to figure out what their people want and the problems that they have. They're too busy trying to tell them all about themselves.
Yep.
And guess what? They don't care.
Not very much.
They don't care about
actually
you.
At all. Sorry. They don't care about us either.
They don't care about us. They don't care. You don't care. Like, you don't really care about
Zach and Laura.
You don't. You care about what we can do for you. Right?
And information and entertainment that we provide for you
is
the only reason you're watching this video.
Right. And the same is true for you. Like, so the trap for a newer entrepreneur, or even sometimes people who have been in the game a while.
I would say seasoned ones as well.
The trap is you start telling them about all your bio, like why you deserve this, why, like you start telling them about you. They don't care. Like, and here's an example, somebody that I've heard use a lot that is really good. When you go into your doctor's office and you don't see their diploma hanging on the wall, do you say, "Excuse me, can I please see your diploma before I let you talk to me?" Like, do you do that? Like, or think about like your chiropractor. Do you go, "Can you tell me a little bit more about your your qualifications? I want to know about what school you went to, what extracurriculars you did, awards that you've won. I want to know those things." Like, no, right? And so we get so caught up in like almost like, look at my achievement. Like, no one cares. No one cares. You know what will make them care more is if you can describe their problem
or their pain
better than they can, and then you can give them a solution to that is desirable to them.
Yep.
Basically, what can you do for them? If you can tell them what you can do for them, or what you can do for their child, or what you can do for whatever, if you can tell them how you can solve their problem, so you know the problem and you know how to solve the problem, game over.
Game over.
Like, that's all you need to know. And so, and the takeaway for you is this, and it's simple, and we're going to keep this short. Takeaway is this, is if, record yourself, or think about the last conversation you had with somebody, whether it be like an ad or whether it be an actually like selling conversation about it. Was it more about you or was it more about them?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. But the good thing is there's a solution. If it happens to be that you are talking more about yourself than you're talking about them or their problem. So the way I've heard it described, and I love it, is you have to become a spy. You have to become, it's espionage, right? You have to go.
I'm concerned as why you love that, but go ahead.
Because spy movies are great movies. They're fun.
I thought it was because, never mind. I'm not going to go into that story.
Are they not? What?
I was thinking about when I had been married to him like 3 years, and
we can't tell that story.
I can't tell that story.
No, because
then you get
it'll destroy my cover.
Anyways, go ahead.
So basically, like, spy movies are great. Why are they great? Because somebody's sneaking around and figuring out information about somebody
Zach
else.
may or may not be a spy. Anyways, go ahead.
Getting caught or not getting caught, right? I could be a spy, probably not, but I could be. So the cool thing is like you get to be a spy. You have to go and you have to get into the minds of your ideal customer. Mm-hmm. And then you have to speak to them in their language and how they think about things. And voila. And
that's the old adage, you got to listen more than you talk. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? You know, that whole thing. Like, but it's true, right? So step one, like, depending on where you are, like, if you don't know the problems that your people have, go start asking questions, go start listening, whether that be online, whether that be in person, like however it is, that's like literally step one. And so many people try to skip this step and go straight to selling and making money. And it's like, if you don't know who you're selling it to and what it is that they desire, then you cannot they don't care. They're not going to care about your product. They don't care about your product just because you decided it was a good product. It has to solve a problem for them. There has to be a payoff for them. And so we want to encourage you, if you are trying to sell something, struggling to sell something, want to scale something, the first thing I look at is who are you trying to sell it to and what is the problem that they have? And then what's your solution to that problem? Exactly. And then all your marketing, all your language needs to speak to the conversations that are going on in their head or at their kitchen table and the problems that they're talking about. And that is how you sell it to them. That's how they will become aware of you.
You guys need resource. Like you need to educate yourself. Like, yes, we have information, but there's tons of books, tons of different resources.
And when you read I can read a book, he can read a book, and you can read a book, and it's going to be like everybody's going to have different thoughts about it, right? Yep. Which is why we want to recommend this magazine to you. Like, and here's the thing, he always tells me, he goes, "Hey, you got to read it too," and I'm like, "Well, why?" And he goes, "Because when you read it, you think about something different than when I read it, right?"
Exactly.
And so when you read it, you're going to think about something even different than us. So every month we come and we give you a tip from here, something that we read that we loved, and we like talk about what that means for you. However, if you want to like learn more about the other ways that Stephen Oliver, the guy we were talking about, like other things he learned and a whole bunch of other stuff, there's so many different things in here. If you want to learn more, you can get our link down below. Or a link down below for this newsletter. And we want to encourage you.
I'm pretty sure they'll be cool and send you the first month for free. So that's super cool. So you can get access to it.
Check it out. See if you like it.
Free trial. You don't have to even think about it. So it's super cool.
So check it out. See if you like it. But if you are serious about business and serving people and living your assignment, part of it is marketing. And so you got to, like, it doesn't matter if you're like, hey, I'm not a marketing person. I'm a teacher, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. It doesn't matter what you do. You need to learn, even if you have somebody who does marketing for you, like the ideas and the thought process behind it is so important for you to understand. So go grab your month free.
Yeah, month free. For sure.
And go check it out. Let us know what you think about it.
Below. We'll leave it in the comments for you.
And let us know what you think about it. But remember this, even if you don't do that, remember this, when you're marketing yourself, focus on them.
Yep.
What do you always say? Your customers are the only people with money.
Yep. Customer is the only one with money.
So focus on them, listen more to them, talk more about them, and less about you. Have a great day, everybody. And if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you check out this next one.
Right here.
We're sure you're going to love it.